Hi, I'm Jacqueline Rinksmeyer, Executive Director of the Greater Medina Chamber of Commerce.
And I'm Jared Fry, General Manager and Public Information Officer for the City of Medina and Medina TV.
One of the core values of the Greater Medina Chamber of Commerce is business advocacy. We've been proud to partner with Medina TV on this voter education series for well over 10 years now. We're grateful to our interviewer and General Manager of Medina TV, Jared Fry, and our producer, Matt Tomick.
We're grateful for all the candidates that took part in the Candidates Forum, but we also want to stress that the opinions of those candidates are not those necessarily of Medina TV or the Greater Medina Chamber of Commerce.
All candidates and contested races were invited to participate in this voter education program.
We want all voters to be informed to the best of the ability as they head to the ballot this November, so sit back and relax and enjoy our Candidates Forum.
We encourage you to make a plan to vote this November.
Joining me now in studio is Matt Diemer, a candidate for U.S. Congress 7th District. Matt, I want to thank you for taking time with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you. And
absolutely.
Why don't you start off first and just tell people a little bit about yourself?
So my name is Matt Diemer. I'm running for Ohio's 7th District, Congressional District. I was born in Northeast Ohio and did my undergrad in University of Hawaii with a bachelor's in political science. Then I spent some time abroad working in hospitality and running hotels and bigger venues. Got a full scholarship to study my MBA, and I did that in Taiwan. And when I got back to the United States and back to Ohio, I started working with the local community. And from 2022, when I ran for the first time for this office, and thank you for having me back, by the way, between then and now, I've been working with the Democratic Party, getting out there for Issue 1 in August, Issue 1 abortion rights, working, collecting signatures, getting the signs out, going door to door, making phone calls, and now we're running for Congress again.
Mm-hmm. And now you're mentioning this second time going, but what gives you your passion? I'd like to ask this of all the candidates that come in, because it takes a special person to involve themselves in the political arena. What's your passion for running for office?
Well, look, we need good people to run. We need people to run all over. And so this is an opportunity to energize voters. We have a lot of issues that have been in the past and on the ballot coming in November. Issue 1 to end gerrymandering is a very big issue. So the more people we have out there running for office, engaging with voters, bringing the grassroots out, bringing the community out, the better that we are going to be. And I think that we just need a participatory democracy. And the way you get that is by getting people engaged and getting out there and running. So I'm very happy to go out there and interact with the community every day.
Great. And then kind of inform the voters here, the residents watching, what the role of a congressman is in the 7th District. So
the role of the congressman in the 7th District is, or any district, is to listen to voters and take their concerns to Washington. And that's going to be on a national or geopolitical scale or within your local communities, and making sure that we're advocating for the people.
Mm-hmm. And a great question there is, how would you handle the balance of keeping an eye on your constituents and the concerns here at home while you are looking at the federal government as a whole as well?
I don't think that's a balance, is because the concerns here at home is what should be at the federal level. And that's why you're electing congressmen. I think that there's a disconnect where it's saying that, oh, the congressmen are there, therefore they're not really here. But that's not what it's supposed to be. Is the people that are here in Ohio 7th is supposed to be the voice of Washington, D.C., and you're that conduit. And so there's no distinction and there's no separation. I would be the voice of Ohio 7th District in Washington, D.C.
And then that 7th District made up of 3 different counties.
4.
Or 4, yeah, you're right. Thank you. Correct me there. How do you handle that balance of the needs of each of those counties?
Talking, communication, leaving the door open. There's been a lot of things I've learned in the past couple years with this. Is the more communication that you have, the more that you do have that open door, the more that you do answer emails, the more that you do go out to the community, the more input and feedback that you get. And the more that you go back to the community, you get to get the feedback from what you said or did before. And so if you stop that, and a lot of people do, they don't show up for either debates or interviews or town halls. And when they do that, and especially with your opponents or people with conflicting or opposition of point of views, you stop the voice of the community. And so just by being there and getting out and hearing and listening and interpreting and taking that to Washington and making sure that you're having that back and forth conversation is how you do it.
Mm-hmm. And some of those topics that come up, we'll hit a couple of these now. As far as how do you look out for small business or larger industries that are here in the area?
Again, you advocate for their interests. Mm-hmm. Look, this isn't looking for what's happening in California or Florida. This is what's happening in Northeast Ohio. And so the businesses will tell you what's happening here. What do they need? What resources do they need? What legislation, what laws are being passed that maybe hurt them or help them? Mm-hmm. And by listening to them and getting down on the ground, then you would understand exactly what you need to do. Look, I can't say that I'm an expert at anybody's business. I mean, look at you. You're sitting here as an expert, in this industry. To hear your input, to get your feedback as a professional would be so beneficial for a congressman or any representative. And so that's what you do, is you get out there and you make sure that you're listening to industry professionals and advocating on their behalf.
And then another issue that we have is here, especially in the Medina area. In fact, there are 3 school districts going to the ballot this November looking for funds and financing. What are your thoughts in terms of school funding? Oh,
School funding is very important, and to make sure that we have I look around at this studio. This is amazing. I wish I had something like this when I was in high school. But it gives students an ability to figure out what they want, learn a skill or a trade, or get a passion for something before they're in adulthood. And so the more a school has for funding, if it's for sports funding or if it's for things like this media center, your library, or any other extracurricular activities. One person that's running for office right now, his name is Scott Quaid. He was a debate coach. To be in debate, to learn how to critically think and have those conversations. The more you put into schools right now, the better you set young people up to understand what they want in the future and give them a head start so they can succeed at that. So I am 100% for school funding.
And then as far as another issue, affordable housing, whether it's young families trying to get started, senior citizens or elderly people looking to maybe downsize, it's just a tough market right now as far as affordable housing.
So tough.
Your thoughts on that?
It's a tough market. One of the things that I really saw that really hit me was Habitat for Humanity. They're doing this project, and what they're doing is they're putting up houses, and for people that make, I think it's something like 80% of poverty level and under, they're giving them this house, and the way that they pay for it is with community service. And I think that there's a lot more creative ways that we can have to get people into homes, into their first homes, and make sure that they keep their homes. And that means to property taxes as well. One of the things that I'm very much against is the raising of property taxes, especially for elderly who are retired and on fixed incomes. And when that property value goes up, it almost squeezes them out of a home that they might have lived their whole life in, and where their kids are there, their grandkids come and visit, and then when that property tax goes above their fixed and usually very modest income, they have to make hard choices. Do I leave my house? We have to stop that and make sure that people can have their homes. We can get people into homes, and that generational wealth from that person on fixed income can pass out down to the other generations.
Sure. We're speaking with Matt Diemer, candidate for the U.S. Congress, 7th District. Glad to have him in here today. And what's something that you're most proud of that you think will help translate into the office?
Look, I'm really proud of this campaign and our Make Congress Work Again philosophy. The fact is Make Congress Work Again is based off of the idea that Congress is not working for you. It's working for the super PACs, the billionaires, lobbyists, corporations. I give this example a lot. There was that rumor a while back, I think it's been debunked, that Elon Musk was going to give a Trump super PAC $45 million a month. And I did the math. And the math came out to $45 million a month for Elon Musk would equate to somebody who made $70,000 a year, $12 a month. That's a Netflix subscription or a Spotify subscription. So again, $12 a month for the average person is the same as Elon Musk spending $45 million a month. And so when you have that kind of money and that kind of influence going into politics and going into super PACs and bombarding people in Congress with that money, who are they working for? That is basically a one or two or a couple people or corporations or special interests putting their thumbs, well, maybe their hand on the scale of their interests over the people's interests. And we have to stop that. So Make Congress Work Again is about overturning Citizens United, taking all this money out of politics, stopping stock trading, instituting congressional stock trading, putting in term limits for Congress people, and making sure that there's not this pipeline from Congress to lobbyists or Congress to corporate boards. And I think once we do that, the congressmen, the Congress people, will be forced to go to the people again, because then the people will have that power back.
Now, if elected, what's probably the biggest thing you would like to fix once you...
Citizens United, 100%. We got to get Citizens United overturned or make sure that we fix campaign finance. I think a lot of people don't. Sometimes I think people really don't understand how much money is in politics, because it's like, hey, give us a buck here or give us $1 there, but we're talking about these presidential years, and we're talking about everybody running for Congress and Senate and the presidential election. They're taking in more money than the NFL or the NFL, and we're talking about all the teams, all the tickets, all the hot dogs, all the beers, all the parking, all of their revenue together is less than a presidential election year. And so with that kind of money going around, what could we do with that? What other ways can we facilitate our democracy? We have to change Citizens United.
Mm-hmm. Again, I'm speaking to Matt Diemer, the candidate for U.S. Congress, the 7th District here that covers Medina and 3 other counties, as we mentioned before. Yep. You've been great in answering all my questions that I've had for you so far. I want to make sure I give you every opportunity to say everything you want to say, so let me turn the mic over to you for any comments you might have.
No, I just want to say I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate Medina County for listening to this interview and all the other interviews that you're doing here. Please go out and vote in November, and if you have the opportunity to work on a campaign, if you have an opportunity to do anything, make sure you do that, because this is how we maintain our democracy. And again, check us out at diemerforcongress.com. That's DIEMER for Congress.com. Look at our platforms, look at why we're running, understand what Make Congress Works Again means, and the things that we're trying to do here. And please vote for us in November.
All right, great. That's Matt Diemer, candidate for U.S. Congress of the 7th District. Matt, thank you for your time today, and I wish you the best of luck this November.
Thank you, sir.